skeptics around all the things start contacting me. And I have a 4-hour conversation with Brett Weinstein, and I walk him through the whole thing, even through the vaccine technology, and I think how it'll cause cancer. And look today where we are, these mRNA vaccines are causing cancer. So anyways, I have this great conversation, and all of a sudden, I feel I can sense the pressure, being applied and mounting, from being followed, as weird as that is. And because I'm a former top secret clearance holder, I decided to go report this to the FBI. So I go to my local FBI field office and I say, I'm Dr. Andrew Huff. I'm a former top secret clearance holder that worked in this environment. I'm being tailed because you're supposed to. You sign documents saying that, if you report if you have any strange behavior the rest of your life of being tailed or, hacking surveillance, report it to the FBI. So I did. My wife and I go in there. They seem like they're taking it very seriously. And I then actually hire a private investigator to then cross-check what the FBI is doing. And there's a vehicle that's following me, and I report it to the FBI. The FBI tells me it's nothing. The private eye tells me that vehicle is registered to the Secretary of State in Michigan, and that's how they have undercover vehicles.
What?
Yes. So
that's how the FBI has undercover vehicles?
That or any other undercover entity. So some federal entity.
Like government agency.
Government agency could be the state police, the sheriff's department. I now know for a fact that it was this.
A lot of us know that.
And there's a vehicle that's following me, and I report it to the FBI. The FBI tells me it's nothing. The private eye tells me that vehicle is registered to the Secretary of State in Michigan, and that's how they have undercover vehicles.
What?
Yes. So
that's how the FBI has undercover vehicles?
That or any other undercover entity. So some federal entity.
Like government agency.
Government agency could be the state police, the sheriff's department. I now know for a fact that it was the state police, my sheriff's department in Marquette County, and the FBI all working together in hindsight, and probably also with the Department of Defense and the CIA, which is more difficult to prove, but you can sort of see ties and tendrils into that. So that aside, so I'm being followed. They're listening to my communications. All of this is sort of easy to detect. If you're a person who worked in intelligence and defense, you know how they operate. And so I just started collecting evidence of all the terrible crap. And my devices were getting hacked weekly. I mean, I'd have to wipe the operating systems, reinstall, and it's this cat and mouse game as technology is evolving. Yeah. And I'm an engineer, so I just start increasing my security all the time. And the sad reality is with consumer grade electronics that you buy from Amazon or wherever you get them these days, it's difficult to defend it against the advanced persistent threat. So basically I spend a lot of time doing network engineering and restoring programs and software, because once I get to the point where I'm writing my book, the hacks intensify, and it's definitely coming from the government, probably the pharmaceutical industry or other entities and organizations. And I try to investigate myself the sources of those hacks, and actually know you follow the IP addresses of their VPN that they backdoor into your system. You can find out who the attacker is. So I do this, and I sit on it, and it's gotten to the point where I'm ready to file a large federal lawsuit against the federal government, Kash Patel, who's supposedly my ally, for $50 million, because I've identified the FBI agents and everyone involved all the way to the top. I basically ran a counterintelligence operation back against the U.S. government with my training and collected the evidence to prove it. I even have fingerprints that I obtained in my house of people who broke into my house. They tased my dog.
What?
Yeah, they tased my dog during one of the break-ins. What else did they do?
Actually?
Yeah. Actually.
How do you know that?
I mean, it leaves a big mark and a burn on the dog's neck. It was hiding, cowering in the counter. It changed one of my bird dogs. And so this dog was actually one of the
German short-hair pointer?
Yeah, so large female, about 70 pounds, large for that breed.
They attacked your dog.
Yeah,
okay, that's when...
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. They tased the dog, and it changed her behavior. She became more timid. She actually used to be sort of aggressive for a GSP. And so anyways, yeah, they tased my dog. They tampered with my vehicles on numerous occasions. And this just didn't happen in the UP. This would happen when I go other places. So if I travel for work, say I'd go to, Wisconsin, Green Bay, California, they'd tamper with my vehicles there and do, really silly stuff, like psychologically. So they might just like buckle your seatbelt before so you leave the car, and then you come back to your car and everything's all skewed and they mess with stuff in it. So, I mean, it was more of a psychological operation, not like trying to kill me, but they were trying to apply all the pressure that they could to make my life miserable. I have periods where my credit cards might not work. You show up to a gas station, try to run at the pump, it won't work. So is that the bank screwing with me, the payment system? I had the controls on my vehicle on, I don't want to say what type of car I have on your show, but a newer vehicle that has like automated driving, like assisted driving capabilities, that had been taken over at low speed where I couldn't control it. And now I'm sort of of the mindset, I'm like, oh, gee, should we have self-driving cars? And they would actually, it always had.
Let me answer that question.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's the end of human autonomy, right?
And so
we should have 1987 Chevrolet Silverados with the 5-speed manual transmission.
You'll have to take me for a ride later.
That's what I drive. Okay. Sorry.
No, and I've thought about that. And so it's always this battle whether or not we should have these technologies. And here's the thing I want to point out. They didn't do these things when I was driving at high speed. It happened at the same place in my driveway systematically where they were doing it to mess with me at a low speed. And I actually brought one of the vehicles into the manufacturer to have it looked at. And they took a look at it. Their corporate mechanic came in. And corporate mechanics are special mechanics that look for, I guess, manufacturing errors in the production of the vehicle so that the corporation can correct the either software or physical problem with the vehicle. And they gave me free repairs based on what they found, and they wouldn't tell me exactly what they found. So,
well, this is all pretty distressing. And to think that you're a patriotic American, served your country, fought and was wounded in Iraq, and for your government to be doing this to you because you're telling the truth, is really kind of like the end. I mean, that could happen.
Yeah, well, I took the attitude of I can beat these guys, and I'm better than they are, and I'm smarter than they are. So it just became a game to me, and I just played the game, and I outsmarted them every step of the way because their ultimate goal was to prevent me from this story getting out to the global audience. And I knew that's what their objective was. And their other objective was to skew me as a crazy, right? So we're either going to paint this person as a crazy and we're going to prevent them so at least my word or my voice has no impact. And they failed on both accounts because the main thing is I had documented everything that was happening, the license plates, the people following me, the fingerprints in my house. They're not my fingerprints. And the best part is I brought those fingerprints to the Marquette County Sheriff's Department, brought them to the FBI. And I even had a referral from Sandia National Laboratories Counterintelligence eventually to the FBI telling them to investigate this. And they refused to run the prints.
Have they ever run the prints?
No. And this is where it gets really interesting. So,
to this day?
To this day. And I still have them.
Why?
I mean, I guess it's probably someone from law enforcement. That's what. It's probably a sheriff's department employee. It could be someone politically that they used in the operation. I mean, if you look at how when they want to target someone or an individual, and I'm not the first U.S. government scientist to go through this, it's well documented that the person they blamed for the Bacillus anthracis attacks after 9/11. So you remember the anthrax mailings?
Do I remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So they pinned that to a guy by the name of Dr. Bruce Ivans.
Well, first it was Dr. Stephen Hatfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was Dr. Bruce Ivans, and they ran a operation on him, which was like COINTELPRO, to make him crack, and eventually he kills himself. He can't handle the pressure. Well, they ran the same type of operation on me. I didn't crack.
I hate